before, so I guess you all have to introduce yourselves.
Oh, hi. Hi, I'm June. I'm Jongup.
Look at these little kitties. I've been looking forward to this panel all weekend, and I'm sure you guys have too, because we're here to talk about June's new album, Limbo, and how it was created. June, would you like to introduce your album a little bit first?
Yeah. So Jongup. LA 오신 소감 한마디 해주세요.
왔어. LA 이제 이렇게 또 혼자 온 거는 또 이제 처음인 것 같은데 일단은 너무 공기가 좋아요. 뭔가 숨 쉬기 되게 좋은 데인 것 같아요.
He said this is his first time coming to LA by himself as a solo artist. And he says what he really likes is the air, because it's really nice to breathe in. Which seems like a funny joke, except that Korea is literally like half sludge in the air. I love it.
Yeah.
It's rough. So the air is pretty nice here. Min, how do you feel being here in LA with all your brand new adoring fans?
저 LA가 너무 좋아요. 날씨가 너무 좋아서 사람들도 되게 좋고 나이스하고.
What limbo means, for those of us who may not know, such as myself.
Yes. So Limbo, the whole EP has 3 songs. So the concept and everything, I came up with it on my own, and the 3 songs are kind of like limbo, as in the definitions, kind of like that uncertain time and place, like in, I guess so it's like it's not point A or B, it's like in the middle, like that awkward place in the middle. So the 3 songs talk about like different stages of like a relationship or love, and it's always like that kind of like awkward state in between that you can't really decide. So admit is kind of like the resignation part of it, I guess. It's where you're close to a breakup, but you don't want to break up, but you don't know what to do because you're like miserable in a relationship or something like that. I'm not speaking from experience. It's just that's the concept of that. Switch is kind of like the I've already had it enough with like a relationship. I just want to kind of be free. I don't want to really be tied down or anything. And the last song with Jongup is kind of the one that fits the concept the most. It's called REM for like REM sleep, right? So it's about like being in a dream state because you want to be with somebody but you can't, so you don't know what to do, whether to like approach them or not. So in the song actually, Jongup's part is like the, I guess, think about it, get it, yeah. And I think he's like the reality part of it, and I'm kind of like, no, he's in the dream world. He's in the dream world, and I'm in the reality, and we're kind of going back and forth like, oh, I'd rather be like in this relationship, like in real life, and he's like kind of more hopeful about it. So yeah, that's the meaning of Limbo. Did I do it well? Was that okay? You guys understand?
So you guys are all pretty shy in public. That's why you're called sad boys. You just walk around KCon crying the whole weekend. So what was it like in the studio when you were recording this album? Was it just tears, or do you guys get a little crazy in the studio?
I'll make them talk about the studio experience. But Sad Boys, for those of you guys who don't know, we did like a live stream at KCon New York, like the 3 of us, and then we were like, hey, like, what's your concept? What would your concept be if you guys were a boy group or something? And they were like, we're always sad, and we're boys, so we should call ourselves Sad Boys. So that's how that happened. But 혹시 막 우리 스튜디오에서 막 작업할 때 우리가 좀 막 낯가리는 게 많잖아요. 그러니까 분위기나 뭐 우리가 같이 작업할 때 어떤지 설명 좀. 그치 근데
되게 편하게 해요. 되게 서로 자유롭게 그냥 너무 잘 맞다 보니까 뭐 그냥 재밌게 하는 것 같아요. 뭔가 네.
He said it was really comfortable because the three of them just get along so well that when they're hanging out together, you know, they feel like they can be themselves and, you know, have a good time while they're recording and just really like get it all out there.
뭐 우리 셋이 성격이 다 비슷한 게 이제 낯을 많이 가려서 낯을 많이 가려서 뭔가 그런 사람들끼리 모여서 되게 친해져가지고 작업을 하다가도 거의 반 이상이 막 서로 장난치고 이렇게 좀 재밌는 분위기로 작업을 했던 것 같아요. 감사합니다.
He says since all three of them are shy, if you put, you know, a shy person in any given room is going to be shy, but if you put three shy boys in the same room, there's no reason to be shy because they have the same personality. So he says when they're working together in the studio, it's about half joking around and half actually getting work done. And then he said, "Thank you very much." He was a mic drop, honestly.
민씨 혹시 저희 작업할 때마다 그런 거 얘기할 거든요. 네, well, I'm gonna ask him like what was like the most fun process I guess of like a recording. 그러니까 막 같이 작업할 때 재밌었던 거. 너무가 Okay. Pass. All
He
right.
has nothing to say until we get to the spilling tea section, I guess.
Just waiting to spill tea.
So June, I'm curious, how did you three shy boys even end up meeting and becoming best buddies?
I actually worked with Min first on Admit, the first song in the album. So we got introduced and we worked on that piece together, and then I talked to him about like maybe wanting to do like a mini album and things like that, and he was like, "Oh, I have a really close friend that I think would get along with you really well," and that's when I met Jongup, and yeah, we got along really well. We were all shy. It was actually the first time we met, the three of us, it was kind of awkward because we were all very quiet. So we're just sitting in there like listening to music and just not saying anything. A little awkward at first, but yeah, that's how we met, and then we worked on Switch together after. Jongup actually wrote the melody and everything, as well as there's a part in it that he actually sang, so in the actual track, if you can find it.
Wow.
And then yeah, after that we worked on it.
When I first met all three of them, I met Jun first at KCon years and years ago, and I was like, man, Winnie, he hates me. She was like, no, he's just shy. And then June introduced me to Jongup, and I was like, June, I don't know, man, he hates me. And then I went with them to the studio session, and Min was there, and I was sitting next to him at the desk. And then afterwards, June was like, oh, how was it? Was that fun coming to the studio? I was like, I'm terrified. Min absolutely hates me. It turns out they're all just so shy. Maybe you guys should have been shy boys instead.
Oh, I like that. 바꿀까? Should we change it? Okay, we're gonna change it. I like that idea. Okay.
So you also have 3 music videos for this
Yeah.
album? That is impressive. How did you find time to film 3 music videos and do KCon New York?
I was going back and forth with Korea a lot this year. Like I think like once every month at least. And in June I went twice for 2 weekends, like 3 days at a time to shoot the music video. Jongup, we actually shot that first, and then I did Switch, and then Admit was a little earlier in the year. I found time somehow, I guess. I mean, other than working on music and stuff, I'm usually home playing games, so I guess I have a lot of time.
Jongup, you used to be in a group, as we all know. How was it instead filming a music video with June? What are some differences?
그 뭐지? 그 BPM 활동할 때 뮤직비디오 촬영한 경험이랑 나랑 같이 찍었을 때 경험이랑 뭐가 차이점이 있는지 어땠는지.
그래도 피처링이다 보니까 서포트해주는 느낌이니까 좀 부담 없이 했던 것 같아요. 좀 편하게 촬영을 그냥 그래서 재밌게 편하게
So he says instead of being the main in the video, he was just there, you know, as a featuring artist. So he felt like he was there to support June more than to, you know, showcase himself. So he felt like he could be a lot more comfortable and have more fun while he was recording it.
You guys want to see Jongup in his own solo stuff too, though, right?
You want me to write it, right? Oh, did you hear that? He said I'm making it right now.
앞으로 어떻게 하고 싶은 활동을 솔로로 할 건지 뭐 그런 거에 대해서 좀 얘기 좀.
저는 이제 사실 이제 BP가 끝나고 이제 저 이제 혼자 앨범을 이제 내야 돼서 이제 솔로로 계속 활동을 할 생각인데 아무래도 이제 혼자서 할 수 있는 일은 아니니까 뭔가 그런 사람들을 만나고 뭔가 그런 데 시간이 많이 지금까지 많이 들었던 것 같은데 이제 금방 이제 앨범 준비해서 제대로 이제 활동을 할 수 있을 것 같은데 네 그냥 기대해 주세요. 네.
He says now that BUP's over, he's really been thinking a lot about what he wants to do for his own solo career. And so he's had some time to think about it, and he's met with people and talked to people. So now he's going to start really focusing on working on releasing a solo album. So please look forward to that as soon as he's finished with it.
You want to open the questions to the floor?
I would love to open up questions to
You
the
guys have
floor.
questions for us?
Here's one.
Have you ever had cocktails?
아직 모르겠어요.
He has not had any yet.
Are you serious? You should
I
try it.
don't know what happened there.
Jongup, do you like McDonald's or In-N-Out better?
Oh.
인앤아웃도 되게 맛있었는데 그래도 뭔가 맥도날드가 너무 친숙해서 맥도날드.
He says even though In-N-Out is really delicious, McDonald's is more familiar to him, and he does have it back in Korea, so he's gonna have to go with McDonald's on that one.
Do you still like Chris Brown?
그렇지만 좀 음악 좋아해요.
There's my translation.
This was a question for June. Starting your career, how exactly did you go about actually starting it up? Did you do covers? I know you did violin on YouTube. So how did you go about actually publishing your music for the company?
Did everyone hear the question?
Yeah. So I was on YouTube since 2011, so it's been a really long time. Yeah, so I started doing violin covers and stuff like that for a really long time, and then since 2 years ago, I've been working on my own songs and music, and that's because as much as I love doing covers and performing covers, I really like performing in general, but at the same time, I realized I was always playing someone else's song, someone else's music, dancing to someone else's dance, and it wasn't as fulfilling anymore, I guess. So 2 years ago, I started doing my own stuff, and I think getting to the publishing phase, distribution, all that official stuff, I went to Korea and I got to meet a lot of people. So yeah, I think that's how I got kind of started.
Oh, okay. Hi. So, June, first off, this is a two-part question. You were at KCon last year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how does it feel having performed on the KCon rookie stage for the first time this year?
KCon rookie stage?
Yeah.
Club KCon. Right?
Well, I mean, yes, that thing.
Oh, yeah. That was fun. I think Club KCon was a lot of fun, but I'm performing tonight at the pre-show, so I'm excited to do that. Last year I was part of the lineup. I performed on stage last year, right? Sorry, my memory is a little bit. Oh yeah, with Tentu. Oh yeah, I played violin. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, always KCon's always fun. This is I think like my 13th or 14th KCon. Right? New York, counting on New York, LA, Mexico, Japan. So yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's always fun seeing everybody, and I get to bring people like Jongup and me from Korea too. So it's a lot of fun.
So this is a question for June. I know that like your violin is like a big part of what has, like you said, it develops your YouTube channel and things like that. Violin and hip hop like combined is starting to gain a little bit of popularity like in the underground music scene. Is that something you'd like to incorporate into your music as well?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. So yeah, so for the past 2 years, I kind of like on YouTube, I've been very inactive with violin covers and stuff like that. So a lot of people have been asking, are you going to play violin? Are you going to keep playing violin? So this album was just focusing on like, I guess, non-violin stuff. But right now, Min and I are also working on a few tracks that will incorporate violin because I kind of want to bring it back. So yeah.
The next question I'm accepting is for Min, so go ahead and raise your hand.
Sorry, I've done this since New York.
Okay.
So you've worked with a lot of idol groups. Is there a difference in how you go into producing for a group versus producing for your friends? Or is it kind of the same process? Sorry.
친구들이랑 할 때는 이제 준이나 정욱이 형 같이 친구들 할 때는 그냥 재밌게 뭐 시간을 정해놓고 하는 게 아니라 그냥 하고 싶을 때 만나서 하고 그리고 뭐 놀고 싶을 때 놀고 작업하다 피곤하면 그냥 집에 가서 자고 그렇게 하고 그 회사랑 일을 하는 경우에는 그 데드라인이 있으니까 그때까지 맞춰서 해야 되기 때문에 솔직히 친구들하고 일하는 게 훨씬 더 재밌는 것 같아요.
So he says when he's working with his friends, you know, they meet up when they all have free time, or maybe they don't meet up. And when they're, you know, recording, sometimes they want to goof around instead of work. That's fine too. If they're tired for the night, they'll just go home. No overnighters unless they're partying. But when you're working for a company, you have a deadline. You have a song you need to get done by Tuesday or else. So even if you're tired or you'd rather go have fun, you actually do have to, you know, do work. God forbid. So he says he does prefer working with friends because there's more freedom and more ability to be creative in this process.
So my question is actually for all three of them. What is your favorite thing about the KCon experience as a whole?
I love your question.
Alright, so my favorite experience at KCon, I think would be definitely meeting everybody. Because there's not, like these days, especially for the past 2 years, I haven't been like performing a lot or going anywhere, so I don't get a chance to, I guess, like just like meet and talk to everybody or just like interact, I guess. I've been streaming on like on social media for a while now, so like that was another way for me to kind of interact with fans and like just everybody who enjoys K-pop. So I think that's my favorite part, just getting to meet everybody.
저는 일단 가장 먼저 여러분들을 만날 수 있는 게 가장 좋다고 생각합니다.
He's really happy to be able to meet all of you guys here in person, so that's his favorite part of KCon.
저는 KCon이 지금 되게 오랜만에 오는데 오픈 사이에 막 되게 처음에 했던 거랑 되게 다르게 규모도 많이 커진 것 같고 그리고 뭔가 이 기회에 이제 미국 LA나 뭐 뉴욕 이렇게 저도 이제 올 수 있게 돼서 좋은 것 같아요.
So Jongup actually performed at our very first KCon in Irvine in 2012. Back when it was just a small, like we had like a little field, we ran out of water bottles, like tiny. And now we have Staples Center, the entire LACC, so he says it's really grown to be huge, and he found it really interesting to see how much it's grown, and especially since he also got to go to KCon New York this year. he's just really impressed to see how everything has turned out, and he thinks it's a lot of fun, and he's super happy that he's been invited to come back as a solo artist. As a member of Soundboys.
Shy boy.
We can't change the name now.
You just changed it.
저는 일단 이렇게 많은 사람들을 만날 수 있게 돼서 좋은 것 같고요. 그리고 너무 큰 공연장에서 공연도 보고 뭔가 제가 만든 준이랑 작업한 노래도 큰 공연장에서 들을 수 있고 해서 되게 행복하고 종욱이 형님 말했듯이 여기 놀러 와서 아니 일하러 와서 놀면서 이제 좀 되게 구경도 많이 하고 여행도 하고 해서 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
So his favorite part about KCon is that he gets to come here and, there's concert, there was Club KCon and Rookies, and then we also have the concerts at Staples Center. So just getting to see all these different facets of how K-pop works here in America is really interesting to him as well. Good, more questions from the crowd? Oh, look at how excited you guys are getting now. I skipped Yellow Girl earlier.
This is a question for Jongup. So you visited a lot of countries, but which one is your favorite you've been to?
Now he has to give the right answer. He's busted.
가장 좋아하는
가본
한국도 굉장히 좋아하고
He says he loves Korea, number one.
미국이 제일 뭔가 와보기도 와보고 되게 친숙해서 미국이 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
He says since he's been able to come to America so many times and experience it here, he really likes America. I feel like that might be pandering just the tiniest bit. We're gonna let him slide, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a statement and a question. I love BAP, but I'm really happy to see y'all finding your own happiness solo as well. And then who else would y'all would like to collaborate with?
미국
That's the same answer he gave in New York. Someone will get into his DMs and be like, bro, come back.
Anna.
So much.
Is there a genre that you like to produce the most?
힙합, R&B 베이스의 K-팝을 만드는 게 제일 재밌는 것 같아요.
He loves to make K-pop, but with a base of hip-hop or R&B. He's really good. One time he showed us some of his songs in the car, and I was just sobbing the whole time. Like, please release them now. Keep an eye out for Min's music coming out.
To go off what she asked, I also have a question for Min. If you could pick any artist around the world to produce a song or music with, who would it be?
Ariana Grande. Again, he probably had ulterior motives with that answer, but we were like, yes.
Question for any of you that feel comfortable answering. Growing up, or when you were younger, or when you made a decision to enter into working in the music industry, did you ever imagine that it would expand to this global phenomenon that it has today? And how do you feel about so many other cultures embracing not only the Korean music, but the Korean culture as well, the whole package? Did you ever imagine that?
Pictionary today.
You're working so well.
Usually I say something in Korean and then Min translates it to Jongup and then June translates it.
일단 K-팝이 이렇게 커졌다는 게 너무 신기하고 아까 그 질문 진짜 못했던 게 K-콘에 와서 되게 많은 사람들이 K-팝을 좋아하고 있다는 걸 느껴서 신기해요. 그래서 제가 만든 곡이 미국까지 와서 많은 사람들이 듣고 있다는 게 너무 신기해졌어요.
He says it's super, to him, like, fascinating and exciting that, like, people all over the world are listening to music from Korea. And earlier when you asked what his favorite part of KCon was, another thing he thinks is that it's so crazy to be here and see, oh, it's not just Koreans that listen to our music, it's everybody, different cultures, different backgrounds. So he thinks that's really cool to see. Jonah's turn.
네, 저는 사실 이제 처음에 이제 시작하게 됐을 때 당시에는 K-팝을 잘 몰랐어요. 잘 몰랐는데 이제 뭔가 제가 하고 싶은 게 이제 무대에 서는 거고 어렸을 때부터 이제 춤추고 했어가지고 뭔가 이게 나한테 맞는 것 같다 생각하고 하면서 관심을 가지기 시작했는데 뭔가 늘 좀 새로운 것 같아요. 저 뭔가 그 K-팝이 세계로 시장이 커지면서 저도 그 커지는 시기를 같이 밟아온 것 같은데 뭔가 그거를 이렇게 지켜보면서 늘 놀랍고 요즘도 다시 봐도 더 놀랍고 앞으로도 되게 기대되는 것 같아요.
So since he debuted, you know, they traveled a lot. So, you know, K-pop was at that point big, but now it has just gotten so much bigger even since 2012 when they came out. So he feels like as the K-pop market gets bigger, he feels like he also, you know, necessarily reaches a much wider audience. So it's really crazy to him to be able to reach not only just Korea and maybe some surrounding countries, but the entire world with his music.
Yeah, and I guess just to wrap that up, kind of, I guess, like in Korea, it's interesting to see because not a lot of the groups or idols and artists know of their popularity outside of Korea. They're mostly used to just like promoting their work and stuff in Korea, and they know people around the world know them, but like without venues like KCon or like events such as these, it's kind of hard for them to really gauge what I guess everybody's thinking outside of Korea. Even Jongup too, right? Like I mean, he was like, yeah, I've been to America, but I don't know if anybody will know me. I was like, no. Everybody knows him. So like, and I think especially for Jongup, it's a very interesting case because he was in that process when that K-pop crossover to the global stage was happening. So BAP like played a big role in that as well. So
Alright, we have time for one more question for a pizza party. Min, would you like to choose?
Oh my god, please choose.
Get it, girl.
Get it. Guilted him into it. Car, this person over here. I'm so sorry.
Shy boys.
Stop, you guys, we can't keep off.
Okay, we're gonna pick a date right now.
Shy boys.
근데 너 노래 해야 돼.
Min has to sing, right?
Min has to
Yes.
sing. We decided he's gonna wear a teardrop mask. And then DJ kind of stuff like the back and they have like a helmet on or something like
Like
that.
Marshmallow,
Yeah.
just like face covered, but he's back there like dropping sick beats.
But it's like a giant teardrop. But I'm done.
Now you made them nervous. Min's gonna go cry about deadlines.
Well, I mean, obviously we'd like to make Sad Boys, Shy Boys happen for sure. But again, the way we work is kind of like we kind of play by ear. We just like to work on our own schedules and stuff like that. I'm gonna be going to Korea right after KCon too, just to be with them. one, I'm getting like a big health checkup because it's cheaper in Korea.
True.
And two, and then we're gonna hang out / work on some music together. And Jongup has a lot of stuff on his way too, so. I think I'm pick like. Well, she really wanted to.
Yeah, I feel
ask
so
the main
bad.
question.
Let's hear it.
Hi. I just want to thank you for bringing Sad Boys to KCon LA. Thank you for letting me come back. Two questions. I know you worked on songs together, but individually, what song is your favorite that you've worked on by yourself or like with other people? And then my second question is if we could hear Rem live.
I have to videotape this.
Her question, the first question was, of all of your own music personally, what is your favorite song of your own? And the second question is, when are we going to be able to hear REM live?
Right now.
Right now, right here.
Oh, I shouldn't have given that to you. For me, I personally like Rem the most, for sure. Because, and I don't have a lot of songs that I worked on, or is my song I have like 5 songs in there. So, Rem is my favorite one, mainly because I wrote like the whole lyrics entirely. My sister actually helped me out a lot too, like dream and stuff like that. Yeah, that was really nice. I was like, I want a dream concept, and she like sent me a full email with like all the words that could be related to that in Korean and English and stuff like that. So I got to pick out a lot. Actually, like 2 of the lines I just took from the email word for word. So I gave her some credits. Yeah, Rebel is definitely the best because I got to work on it like 100%. So.
스위치.
저는 지금 now 그래도 제가 처음 작업을 한 곡이고 뭔가 이제 그게 친구랑 재밌게 했던 그 기억이랑 뭔가 그게 굉장히 정이 가는 노래여가지고 아마 저한테는 친구 같은 노래예요.
I feel like from the screams, you guys already figured out what he said. He said his favorite one is Nouns. Got to work on it with friends. So it was just a really fun experience to be able to make that song. No. Oh, they're singing it. Okay, man. The time is now. Favorite song. He says he has to check his iTunes. He said switch at first, and then we said, oh, it doesn't have to be June. And he was like, oh.
It's worked on a lot of songs, like a lot. Like probably like a lot of the songs maybe Vin has produced.
He says he wrote an Ed Sheeran song.
What?
믹스의 혁이라는 친구랑 만들었던 노래 중에 보이 위드 스타라는 노래인데 그 노래 제가 만들었지만 제가 굉장히 좋아해요.
So he recently wrote a song for Hyuk of Vix, and he says even though it's a song that he wrote, he does actually enjoy listening to that one. Okay, thank you everybody so much. I'm actually over time, and that means it is time to start the pizza party. So who had, oh yeah, show them your signs, you guys. I told them you had them, and they were super cute.
Wow.
Thank you to FB for making these, and we want to take a photo with the whole crowd. Sad Boys와 함께하면 매일 good day.
I have it.
Oh, I forgot. I also have an album giveaway that I prepared. Okay, so who here did not, and I'm judging you for this, but it's fine, who did not buy June's new album?
That's a winner. Yeah. Jongup actually bought this one. from me to give to you guys. Just kidding, not there.